of living life on the merry-go-round. And you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I'll like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. You, the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. We have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live LUF this lovely October evening. We've got some people on that are going to be giving us not the life stories this week, it's about their recovery stories, so that's going to be wonderful. I'm going to hand over now to Kim, our host for this evening, so over to you, Kim.
Hi, so yeah, my name's Kim and I work for Red Rose Recovery, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. And I'm just going to go around and ask people to introduce themselves and let us know what they're on doing tonight. So I will start with Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm from Recovery Homes. I'm just here to give some information about what it is we do. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. I will go to, it does say Gary on our screen, but I think we've got Jay behind that camera. So if he can tell us what he's doing tonight this evening.
Is it me, yeah?
Yeah, if you just want to tell us who you are and what you're doing this evening.
Hey everybody, I'm Jason. I'm going to give you my recovery journey and where I am today and what I'm doing. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you all pretty soon.
Thank you. Yeah. We should have another couple of people on. One's just come back on, so we can go to Chris and he can let us know what he will be doing this evening. You're on mute, Chris. You're on mute.
Thank you for that, Kim. Yeah, I'm chairman of the Lancashire User Forum, LUF Lounge. I do facilitate the leadership group, and I'm a volunteer with the community of Preston.
And what we doing with us this evening? what
and I'm on here tonight, and we've got some lovely people.
Great, thank you.
I'll
for
be
that.
doing my journey of recovery.
Thank you for that, Chris. We should have someone on later as well, but I can't, obviously he's not here at the moment, so we'll come back to him later. So we'll start off with Erin, if that's okay. She can have a talk to us about recovery homes and what she does and everything else. So I'll pass you over to Erin.
I've got a small person here. So yeah, recovery homes, we are a semi-independent housing project. We've got houses all over East Lancs, so Preston, Accrington, Chorley, Warrington, Bolton, and we, like I said, it's semi-independent. We're not staffed 24/7. You are required, if you live with us, we do drug and alcohol testing 3 times a week, and it's about being able to build your own recovery capital, because it's quite a scary, daunting place to come from addiction where your life can be focused on just using drugs and the ways and means to get drugs, and then to be clean is pretty scary, you know. And well, if you're living with us, there's no bills to pay. You pay £15 a week, and that's for your gas, your electric, and your water and Wi-Fi. So you get into that stage of becoming accountable, but not having loads of paperwork coming through your door, because that's daunting at the best of times. Also, to build, sorry, right, you go in front room, darling. You take Mummy's phone in there, good boy. To build your recovery capital, and that might look like loads of different things. We do have a requirement to live with us, so it's to go to college, but that can be anything, you know. We've got people who are doing dog grooming at college, and we've got people who are doing access courses to university. So it's up to you. It's so broad, that spectrum, and we really promote education. You do it, darling. We really promote education, because addiction keeps us in that place where it's such an insular place, and with education our world opens, you know. But that's not for everyone, and we understand that. So then we would say, if you're not doing education, that it'd be groups at the CDT or volunteer work. A lot of our residents are involved with Red Rose, which is brilliant, you know, and over years we've seen some amazing things through being linked into Red Rose. So yeah, there's a requirement that you build in your recovery capital that looks like either college, vol work, or groups at the CDT. So it's really broad, that. And also we say that on an evening you need to do some kind of mutual aid, so SMART meetings, NA meetings, AA meetings. What, sweetheart? You go find them quickly. Sorry. Yeah, to be doing mutual aid on an evening. So then again, our aim is that when you are in a position to leave us, you're not just leaving with more bin liners full of clothes, you know, because it can really get into that place, can't it, where you live somewhere, not really happens, you might be clean because you're being drug tested, but you're not building out for when you move out on your own, you know. So that's really our focus. Like I said, we've got houses all over East Lancs. We do take people on a maintained prescription, so that would be managed by the community drug team, Inspire in Preston. So that would be 30 ml or less of methadone and 16 ml or less of Espinol, Subutex, buprenorphine. But that needs to be on a reduction, you know, so it's not just parked up on a script. However, we're very person-centred. If you were coming down on your script and, for want of a better word, your head fell off, you can go back up, just not above your 30, you know. So as long as you're moving up and down on that scale, then we're there to support that. Everyone's recovery is different, and recovery is a wobbly wheel, you know. So yeah, you'll see staff 3 times a week for drug testing, and you'd have a contact session where they would signpost. We don't do anything in-house. We're not supported housing in that way. We come under exempt housing, so it's more like a signposting service. Again, so that you're involved in the recovery community, you know, so when you move on from us, you don't think, what now? You know, you've got all this stuff going on. Yeah. That's it really, you know. We have a good success rate, and like I said, recovery is a wobbly wheel and lots of people fall off. But if people fall off, they can be re-referred back in. We don't say you can't come back, you know. But obviously we've got like safeguarding of other residents, so you would be asked to leave until drugs weren't in your system anymore, but then you would be able to come back. Yeah, in a minute, sweetheart. I don't know if there's anything that people want to ask me.
So what we'll do now is we'll just go to, so thank you for that, Erin. And we'll go to Barbara, because Barbara's on the comments this evening. Yes, I just thought you didn't introduce yourself, say what you were doing this evening, Barbara. So Barbara's on the comments, so we'll see if we've got any questions for Erin before she has to leave.
We haven't got any questions yet. We've got quite a few people on. Hi, Michael. Hi, the other Michael. Hi, Emily. Hi, Chris. And hi, Jonathan. Have Chris or Jay got any questions? Because they know about the recovery housing.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara. I've got a few questions just to clarify a few things for people that have misunderstood or not heard properly what goes out there.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
Chris.
Chris.
Been given the
Chris.
Of recovery homes.
Hang on, Chris.
And it's not an easy step. Was off cops and stuff. And I just like
Chris
and stuff when they can come into the house at the Erin.
Chris, we didn't hear anything of that apart from at the end bit about Erin. It was really, really crackly, breaking up the signals. Atrocious, unfortunately. Right. Do you want to try again? It's gone.
Oh.
He'll probably log back and he might come back in, see if it's better. Have you got anything?
Me, yeah.
Can I hear you? Do you have anything to ask, Erin?
Really bad. It's really bad by internet signal. Right. So I've been humbled enough to be given the opportunity with recovery homes, Erin, and stuff. And you know, quite surprisingly, I was shocked at how lovely you people are, as you know, and I learned that through your education behind addiction and stuff, and where your lives have come from, and that's where I find that your hearts are and stuff, because we're all ex-addicts and stuff, and that has to be put out there really and stuff, that you know what you're going on about, you know your stuff, you know, you're doing it for the right reason and stuff, and that's helping people in the midst of a disease and stuff. And you know, for people that have not had the chance to come back into recovery or have never had a taste of recovery and stuff, I think this is the best opportunity for them to be in a safe place and have the chance to move their lives forward. Would you agree, Erin?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So I didn't really speak about like what the ethos is behind recovery home. So thanks, Chris, for the pointer. And so, you know, for me, I'm in recovery myself. I've been in and out of hostels, and when I got the opportunity to work for recovery homes after volunteering for a long time, you know, we as a staff team wanted to change things, like I said, you know, like not just leave somewhere with a bin bag full of clothes, turn up with a prison bag full of clothes and then leave with a bin bag more clothes, you know. And yeah, we are, like, I think that's where that thinking of that it's not, we're abstinent housing. We're totally abstinent housing, you know, we test for pregabalin as well. So we're totally abstinent. The reason why we test for pregabs is in my using, I wouldn't have wanted people to test for pre-gabs, but the reason why we do is because they're so widely abused, and we want to be able to give people that opportunity to really feel what it's like to be totally abstinent, you know. But we support, like what you brought up there, Chris, you know, your journey's been wobbly with us, you know, for want of a better word. But, you know, look at you now. It's absolutely amazing that, and that fills my heart with joy that we didn't just, and historically that is what we would have done, said, no, you can't live with us anymore, you know, but because of our passion about recovery and our understanding about addiction, you came back to us. You left whilst they were in your system, you came back to us, and look at you now, you know. It's heartwarming, and absolutely inspirational. So yeah, we're very person-centered and we're very recovery focused, and if people who live with us want recovery, we will back you on that. But recovery starts from that place of humble honesty, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, Chris.
Yeah, you did, Erin. You did, Erin.
Can I add
I'd just like to put. Yeah, sorry, Jay. Go on, mate.
Hey, you all right, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add, because obviously I'm in recovery homes at the moment, same as you, Chris, you know, on that journey of path of recovery. And, you know, I come out of jail after a big sentence, and, you know, when I got out, I kind of thought that I was on my own, and, you know, I'd struggle with it and struggle around being around people and in a house and my own independence. And, you know, that stuff's all right. You know, I've had really good staff around me, with Evan and a few others, and you know, the good way, they don't hold your hand, they let you be you, and that's what it's about. Recovery, it's your journey. It's not anybody else's responsibility but yours, and it's what you're doing with yourself. So if you want that support off them, obviously they're going to give you that. But it's like Evan said, it's about you getting out there and experiencing your life and free and clean, and they support you in detoxes and they support you with other stuff. You know, I'm literally clean today, and it's like amazing. I go on about it, me, because I love it. You know, I love what they're doing for me, and I can't thank them enough. Like you, Chris, you know, they're a good service. It's up to people getting involved.
It's a fact, Jay. I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for recovery homes. It's a fact. I wouldn't be. I've had some hard truths, and one of the people from recovery homes is here tonight, you know, and then she sat down with me and gave me some really hard truths at the time that was needed. She's kicked me right up the arse. And you know what? That, as addicts, that's what sometimes we need.
We need that.
We need that, yeah. We need that gift of desperation, mate, brought to us, you know, and when it's there, right, yeah, you fight for it, you fight for it, you want it bad. We're addicts, you know, we're based in addiction, and addiction manifests in all different ways, you know, and this is what these people that I am proud to call, not just my key workers, I'm proud to call some of them my friends, you know, because they've been really decent people to me, right, yeah, and they've given me some real honesty and some really hard truth, and that's me move forward and focus in my recovery, and that's why I'm here tonight, and this is why I'm doing good things, right, yeah, and this is why I can focus my life now on wanting better for myself and wanting decent things, and this is all I want for everybody out there. I want everybody out there, everybody in this grip of this disease, right, yeah, to know that there's something better, there's somewhere safe you can turn, there's the gift out there. Just not go knocking. Pick up the phone, ring recovery.
I'm passionate about it, recovery.
Ring it. Yeah, just put your foot in the door. Just step in, put your foot in the door, have a taste of it. If you don't like it, then fuck off. If you do love it, get it, have it.
Yeah, if the shoe don't fit, crack on.
Yeah,
that's what I think anyway, and I will.
I've got a couple of questions that come through. One from Kevin for you, Erin. You talk of the following on, but what sort of signpostings do you give, and what support do you need for this to happen to its fullest?
I'll answer that if Evan doesn't want to do.
So I'll answer it. Yeah, right. So what support is after us? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
So we won't give support after us, because we want people to be in a position after us to maintain their life. We don't want to keep people in a position where they are indebted to a service. We don't want to do that. We want to signpost people to you guys, where they build friendships and get jobs or not, or that they've gone to do courses and get a job, or they've got a position where they're in their life, where they have their own self-worth and belief that they don't need someone to hold their hand. And that can take, for some people, it can take a month. For some, we've got people who've lived with us for 3 years. There's no time limit on how long someone can live with us, but we won't provide a service afterwards, because that is definitely not what I believe in. I believe that we are a short space of time. Short space might be 6 years. You live a long time, don't you? A short chapter of your journey of life. However, if you wanted to ring your key worker, then you could ring them. You know, they've got mobile phones, 9 till 5 though. But yeah.
Myra has also come on, and she's asking, how does anybody get onto the recovery programme?
So what I'll do is, in the chat, 072, oh, it's took my phone on it, 07887
No, there's a few now asking, how do we apply for this? How do we get on?
Right, so I've put my phone number. I'll also put my email address. What's in a minute. So again, if you give me a call on Monday morning, or Monday, any day during the week, 9 till 5, I can get you a referral to us.
Yeah, I'll put that onto the comments now for everybody to see. Okay, back to anybody else who's got any questions before Erin goes.
So yeah, go on, Jay again. Sorry.
I didn't say anything. I was going to do, but Erin's just smashed it. So
yeah, it was me. I was going to ask Jay if he wanted to say something, but if he's happy what Erin said, that's fine. So Chris, if you want to say the last thing before Erin goes.
So yeah, I mean, I've got to disagree in some sort of way. You do grow people, right? Yeah, and give them something after they leave recovery homes. You do give them that support afterwards. It might not be an external support in a way, but you've given the strength and the empowerment to build relationships in the NA network and in the recovery network, and that with recovery homes, and meet beautiful people and meet up and grow with good friendships, right? Yeah, so they've got that support when they move on, and so they're not left alone. That is a fact, that isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And through the contact sessions, that's what things would be suggested, like things like, and I think that if we were all in recovery, we wouldn't know how important this was. So on your suggestions in your contact session, you'll ring 3 people out of your recovery network as a goal each week, so that you're in a position to be able to have that when you move on, those friendships, Chris, like what you're saying, to move away from the isolation of addiction into the connection of recovery.
And it is a bit fearful. I've been through it. I've been through it when I first came into recovery homes. But you know what, right? Yeah, push through that fear. Just step in that door. Just step in that door. Want something better for yourself. You know what I say? If you put half into your recovery and what you put into addiction, you're going to be a winner. You're going to be a winner, right? Yeah, and it's how bad you want it. And that. And you know what? My journey started with Erin Bailey, Liam Riley, Chris Grimshaw, recovery homes, right? Yeah, and look at me now, you know, and I'm in an amazing place. And that one day at a time, and I still say that that's the absolute truth, one day at a time. But I am in an amazing place today. I have been empowered by beautiful people in recovery, and that to do good things with my time. And that's what it's about in recovery homes. It's not about them dictating to you what you have to do. It's not about them telling you, right, yeah, so do this, do that. It's about them wanting you to be better for yourself. It's about them wanting you to progress into your life in the future. It's about them wanting you to move forward and just get out of addiction and get some recovery behind you, and hopefully you'll have a lovely life one day. Move forward.
Get away.
True that.
Thank you for that, Chris.
You're all right.
So is there anything else at all, Barbara, for Erin before she goes or not?
It's just Michael has put on that when he was in his start of recovery as his detox and he didn't get the support from anyone, he wished that you were around then. So,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, I second that one. That's it. So keep up the good work and enjoy working at home like we are.
Enjoy little man hanging off your ears.
I know.
Erin, can I just say thank you?
Yeah.
Erin, yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Erin,
for
yeah,
letting me
thanks
come
very
on.
much.
And I hope you have a great evening. See you
Yeah,
all
we'll
later.
see you all soon.
You too. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Bye.
See
Bye.
you
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, just a quick comment. We've just had, well said, Chris, and hats off to recovery homes. So, and Tomo has said a big thanks to Erin for helping his partner get back onto the recovery path. So, wow.
Good man, Tomo.
Yeah, and Jill has put on, walk into your recovery, open the door, it's better for yourself. Do not be added, you are in recovery for mental health. Sorry, I don't quite understand that.
It might have just been a typo error.
Yeah.
Predictive text or something.
I think it's a typo.
Yeah. Right. So I think I'm passing over to our lovely Chris now to give us his recovery story. So over to you, Chris.
I hope my data goes now. Right, so this is tonight, as you gather, people, right? Yeah, this is, by the way, like and share, everyone, like and share. Tonight's an important night. It's the gift of recovery. Like and share. Get it out there, get it out there. There's a lot of addicts out there that do not know what recovery is about, the gift of recovery, and they deserve that. They deserve it. Everyone's in the grip of a disease, and we need to break down that stigma and show everybody out in that world, right? Yeah, that other addicts can grow. So I'll start with my recovery and my growth. So yeah, my gift of desperation. Where did my recovery start? Gift of desperation. And my brother overdosed. My brother overdosed in a property and died. And I went to prison for the people that yeah, I went to prison anyway for that. We won't get into that. And that was my gift. Do you know what? I had to take something from that. You know, I went to prison for a long time, and I got a taste of recovery. And for the first time I went to prison, it wasn't about being on the landings. It wasn't about fucking around. It wasn't about doing all that shit that fucking daft inmates do, right? Yeah, it was about putting my head down and doing something with my time proper. So I became a listener. I became a peer mentor in recovery and stuff like that. And that, you know, and I gained. I grew. I grew massively, and this gift was from my brother. This gift that, right, yeah, I took from my brother's death, and I thought he'd be looking down on me proud, you know. And I thought, I'm not going to let my mother lose another son to addiction. I went, there's no way my mum's losing another son to drugs. And that's a fact. So it's what they say, turning a bad thing into a good thing. You know, and I can sleep at night with that, and I know my brother's looking down on me, smiling at that as well, because that's what he'd want for me. Anyway, I found out about recovery homes in Preston, in Lancaster Farm, sorry, and I got the chance after 2 years of being locked up, not to go to it, and I had no idea. All I had a recovery taste of was prison. And stuff, and staying clean in prison for once. Normally, once I got out them gates, it'd be straight on the phone to my dealer. And that. But anyway, I got picked up. I got talked to this recovery home in Preston. And like Erin's just said, it was a rocky road. It wasn't a rocky road. I wasn't the best mentality. I still had internal issues going on. Still struggling with past trauma. Still struggling with loads of stuff that prison doesn't let you cope with, you know, stuff that when you feel free of prison that you start looking at and you start internally struggling with and stuff. So when I got into recovery homes and I got a taste of it at first, I was a bit, wow, what's going on here? a cult, you know, and that's a fact. And I was living in a bit of fear. I was living in a bit of fear from it because I didn't know what I was thinking. What does everybody want from me? Why does that person want a hug? I don't even know him. Why does that person want to hug me? But that person telling me, oh, come here, Chris, and putting their arms around me. I was thinking, back off. I was thinking, I don't want anything to do with this. Do you know what I mean? And stuff, right? Because I was ignorant. Because I was living in a fearful world, right? Yeah, where people out there are genuine. There is some people out there that are shitheads, right? Yeah, that's a fact, right? Yeah, but there is a lot of decent people out there that just genuinely want to give you a hug and just say, "How you doing?" You know, because they know who you are, they know what you're about, they're welcoming you, and they just want to make you feel comfortable and just want you to come back and get some help. You know, and it took me a while I struggled with that anyway. I struggled with it, and it took me a while. I ended up getting recalled to prison. That's how much I struggled with it and stuff. It was only a short recall though, because recovery homes, after a fuck up there, and it was a big fuck up, took me back. They were good enough to take me back, you know, and do you know what? Massive thank you to these people. You know, I held my hands up. I was on the phone to them every day going, look, I can come and give you a test right now. I can come. Every day I was going, listen, is there a bed? I can come and do your test. I'll give you a clean test. I'll give you a clean test. And anyway, I ended up getting recalled off a probation officer and stuff, right? Yeah, my probation officer came to visit me. She went, you're out in a week. I went, what do you mean I'm out in a week? She went, yeah, recovery homes will take you back. And that she went, so you're out on this day? And I thought, do you know what? I thought, right, do you know what? These people obviously genuinely care about where people are and how they are, and they try to understand that thought process. So if they can do that, I'm willing to step in now and have a real look at myself and what I can do for myself. So my journey started. I got back out. I went back into recovery homes. I picked up step work. You know, I started looking for a sponsor. And I was on 30 mil of meth. I still hadn't read, so I was on 30 mil of methadone. So I wasn't clean, right? Yeah, but I was on 30 mil of methadone. And you know what, right? Yeah, Mickey Clegg, my key worker, what a diamond, what the best key worker in the world, and that she got me sorted with a detox. She helped me to get focused, right, to straighten my head up to get into detox and stuff, and supported me all the way through that detox to get off me 30 mil of meth. And I remember a bull turning up outside Blackburn Road, and that's waving me off. Even people I'd not even met in recovery homes, because at the time, but in the accredited houses, coming round, because my friend Chesty, and that I told them all that I was going away for 28 days and stuff. And I remember them all outside that morning when the taxi pulled up. And you know what, right? Yeah, that gave me hope. That gave me a big boost, you know, and I thought how lovely, and I had a tear in my eye. It was so sweet, you know, and I thought these people are not bad people. I thought it's your thinking, it's your way of thinking, it's your addiction in your head, it's your struggle internally with all your shit and all your trauma and all your bollocks that's going on, Chris. Because do you know what, right? These people don't have to be here this morning. These people don't have to care enough to come see you off. These people don't have to, you know, give you the time, you know, they're not forced to. And that, so I got a taste of it then. Anyway, I went away to detox and you know, recovery homes were always on the phone for me. I could always get in touch with them. My friends in NA, my friends in recovery homes and stuff were always there for me at the end of the phone, you know, the support and the love and stuff like that. And that's what I never had in addiction. That is something I never had in addiction. The only time I'd get on the phone to somebody in addiction, right, yeah, and that is if I was wanting money off somebody, or if I was wanting drugs off somebody. You know what I mean? And how many people we call our friends in addiction? Come on, people, let's get this right. Let's live real here. They're not fucking friends. They're just addict users, and that we just need for our own fucking support whenever we need it to get us by. And that's a fact, people. That's what we live with, and that's so. Yeah, it was a bit daunting for me that to have new people in my life to come to terms with the fact that I am a liked person, you know, and that I am a good person that deserves better, and that. But you know, so I got out of detox, And the gifts of recovery, I started doing some work. You know, I started doing like the live and thrive. I started pulling the finger out and doing this. And this isn't a cure, people. These aren't a cure. Your motivation to change what you do as a recovering addict is what will change you. How much effort and work you want to put in it. Because even though I was picking up and doing a bit of work, doing my Zoom meetings because it was in COVID and stuff like that, I wasn't all the way in it. And I ended up having a fucking drink. I was only half in and half out. And I ended up having a drink. Some shit went on. And I ended up fucking going out and getting hammered. A fact. And you know, it's like, they took me back in again. Even after the trouble I caused on the fucking lash, you know. And I've got, do you know what, right, yeah? That's when Erin Bailey came round and give me some fucking hard truth, you know, told me I was worth it, told me, come on, Chris, you're not a fucking idiot. Look where you've been in your past. Right, yeah, and look where you're going. Do you really want it, or are you going to start looking internally at that person that's struggling inside you? Because I know you've got the brains to move forward. Right, yes, you went. It's that internal shit you're struggling with, and you know, I got in touch with the mental health anyway. Got back on my medication. You know, started going to seeing a trauma person on Zoom and stuff like that. Started talking about issues. Started working on myself internally. People start thinking, right, yeah, just because you got money in your pocket now and you can start buying a pair of trainers or a jacket or a nice pair of jeans, right, yeah, you've got food in the cupboard, you're cured. It's not a fact. I had all that and more. Do you get what I mean? You're not cured. You're never cured. Do you get what I mean? You've just got to learn to live on a daily basis with everything that's going on. And if you don't do that work internally, then there's no point at all. It's that internal stuff that kills you, people. It's that internal stuff, right? Yeah, that'll put you back out the door. And that's what I struggled with. And internally, I was crushed. I was devastated. I was a sore man. I was battered and bruised, right? Yeah, and I was going to bed and I was crying at night. It's as simple as that. And that was with my foot in recovery, you know. And it's like that's when I knew it was time for me to get honest. It was time for me to get honest with myself and get honest with others and reach out to the right people and the right agencies and get the work done, you know. So I got a sponsor anyway. And stuff. The only person, right, yeah, that stood by me for a 28-day detox, and that because he was a key worker in the detox and stuff, right, yeah, he was one of the support workers and stuff. Thank you, Michael. And you know, and it's like his response today. And you know what? Enough respect. These detoxes, people, they're an hard place to go. They're a daunting place to go. They're a fearful place to go. And you know what? That front door's so easy to walk out, people. And it's like, but this man sat by my side. He picked me up. He came in on his day offs, right? Yeah, when I was doing my night shift, he fucking came in at night time and stuff. He was a lift for me. And you know what? He gave me that truth when I needed it. He gave me that hard respect. He stood by the front door and went, "You can walk out, Chris, right? Yeah, but this is one day." He went, "That's one moment of your life, walking out that front door." He went, "Get real with yourself. You've got the rest of your life after you finish here." He went, and you can hinder that by walking out that door with one moment, one reaction. Right, yeah, and he made me change my way of thinking, and I thought, this is a man that I could have as a friend, you know, and stuff. Right, yeah. So I asked him to sponsor me and that because he wasn't going to take me bullshit. He wasn't going to take me crap. Well, sorry, he does take me crap, right? Yeah, but he happily tells me afterwards that I'm bang out of order and that I could be a right dick at times, which I can. We're only human. And that, you know, but that's the person I can really, really, really take my stuff to. And that's the gifts of recovery, you know. That's the gifts of having a sponsor. Anyway, I started doing the work with him. I started picking up my step work and stuff. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Picking it up was not easy. And that I always thought step one was tripping over the step that you walk through when you come to your front door, you know. I thought that was step one. And that's a fact, you know. Anyway, I learned the hard way because them 74 questions that come with step one, right, yeah, crucified me. I had to put it down. It took me 3 months to even get through it and stuff, picking it up, putting it down, picking up, putting it down. But you know what? I grew. I learned some things about myself, and I'm still learning things about myself. You know, I'm not perfect, and you know what? I don't want to be perfect. I want to learn. I want to grow every day in my recovery. I want to be that person that learns something new every day. I don't want everything overnight. You know, that's my addict's behaviour if I wanted everything overnight. And you know what? I'm content with growing now. I'm content as a decent human being that wants to be in a good situation and learn something new every day and let my growth be for the rest of my life. And I think that's the difference between an addict and a recovering addict. You know, we want that instant gratification in addiction. You know, and a recovering addict is just happy in the day and the simple ways of life, the simple ways of the gifts of recovery and stuff, you know, having your family again, having them people in your life that mean the most to you again, having good people you can turn to in your life without without them wanting anything back from you. The gifts of knowing people out there that where you can go and when you're feeling down or you're feeling lost a bit, and they'll give you the hard truth. You need to pick you back up, or they'll give you a warm hug, or they'll give you the gift, right? Yeah, of a brew and just a bit of time with their both ears, listening to what's going on for you, without condescending, without all that shit of guilt tripping, without the shit of people wanting to talk behind your back or all like that. And you know what? Life in recovery is not perfect. No, is it not perfect? But is it better than what it was as an addict? Fucking miles better. Come on, people. Fucking hell. Fucking fly family. Trauming up everybody that you love in your life. Disconnecting from everything you know. You get what I mean? Apart from the drugs. Bullshit. Do you know what? Right, yeah. I'm quite content with where I am in my recovery. And I just want everyone to know you're struggling with the gift. You're struggling with a disease that people think there's nowhere to turn, or you get that content in drugs and just going out and finding your money to fucking support your habit, and that you get lost in yourself and you find, you know, you just get isolated and shut off from the world. And you know what? Right, yeah, I've been that addict. I have been that addict. And I just want to tell you that I never ended up dead. And that was due to recovery, you know, because I wanted more, because I needed more, because I would have been one of them people dead like my brother and stuff. And recovery, right, yeah, is my way of thinking now. Recovery is all I want. So do something better for my life, the people that I love that are in my life now, right, yeah. Focus with all the good things that I've got going on in my life. I would have never had the power inside me or the motivation to go out and help communities, right? Yeah, do something good in the community and give something back, you know, to show that addicts are not twats that people think, because we get lost in that stigma of what society thinks about us, you know. So I love putting my face out there. You know what? It empowers me to be able to go and look people out there, right? Yeah, in society and go, I am an addict. In recovery.
I think we've lost Chris again. Right, so I have a load.
I love shaking hands with the best of them.
And he's back.
What happened then?
We lost you, Chris. We lost you, Chris, and you've just stopped back in.
Do you know what it was? It was my woman on the phone, and I've just had to red button her for you lovely people. How nice is that? You know, she'll batter me, the gift of recovery. She'll give me a black eye when she comes and sees me. Right.
We've got loads of comments, Chris. Hang on. We've got Glenn. It takes a lot of courage to share your story, so well done. Jackie, giving back is the most amazing gift that you can give. Recovery helps you to find the real you. Vanessa says, well done, Chris. She's known you for many years, and it's so good to see you recovering and helping others. And Becky said that you're such an amazing, truthful, and powerful journey. You help so many people, and there's never a quiet moment. I can agree with
I
that
can
one.
agree with that. Yeah, I'll second that one. Yeah, definitely.
So
It doesn't
many
just-
people can relate to your story and put your recovery first, then everything else will be first class. And Michael has just put, I would rather be clean and going forward than taking drugs and going backward. So wow, I think your story's got to a lot of people there, Chris.
You know what? It's got to me. Can you look? It's got to me. And you know what? I'm glad, because there's a story in all of us, and that's what it's about. That is what it's about. If one person, and I'm glad that it's reached out and it's touched a few people tonight, because if it can just reach one person, then I'm a winner. I'm a winner because I'm giving back, and somebody's listening out there. Somebody's feeling a bit of hope or a bit of empowerment to pull the finger out and go do something really good for themselves, you know, and want something better in their life. And that is amazing to me. That is, you know what, my job's done anyway. I'm going to end there because I'm getting a little tear in my eye. So thank you.
Right, thank you, Chris. I just want to say how amazing you are, and you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk as well. And I'm proud of you. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. I've just had a message come through from Gary's phone that they're having massive internet issues. So I don't know if we've got him or we haven't.
Right.
All that I can add to that is I know my recovery is slightly different. I came through a different way. But helping other people with their recoveries helps me, and it works for me. And that's all that I can say is, if you don't find one way of finding a recovery, go and look for something else.
Yeah,
What-
different things work for different people. It's not one size fits all. So
No.
definitely keep going. Don't just give up on the first hurdle. That doesn't work, so I'm not doing it, because there's loads
Yeah.
of other things out there for you.
Try everything. It doesn't matter what it is, give it a go and find out what works for you. So, have we got anybody else?
So obviously, is Jay there?
I don't think he is. Ah, he is.
Hi. Right, are you okay? Is your signal okay?
I don't know, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
That's
hear you
a weird
absolutely fine. So
We're actually in
we're
the van at the moment, so we're driving, so it might break up quite a bit.
right, all right, well, we'll pass over to you and do what you can for us, Jay. All right?
Right, just give me a second. I'm in a
No
minibus
worries.
full of people, so I apologise for it. So
That's fine.
I'm back now, are you?
Hiya.
So yeah, where do we start? I don't know really. After what Chris said, what can you add to that?
Well, just
my
talk about
story.
your recovery, your
So
story.
why am I in recovery?
Well,
So kind of going to take it back to where I started, and that was living on the streets in Bolton Town Centre over Christmas period, and you know, not having a family and being in full-time addiction, because it is like a job. It is a job, innit? So yeah, I was living on the streets of Bolton, and I was living in Morrison's, in actually one of the, you know, where they put the trolleys, one of the bins where they put the trolleys. I was actually living in there. And I remember the security guard coming over and giving me loads of grief and nearly giving me a good hiding for being there. And it just made me think. And I remember walking to McDonald's because I wanted a brew and it was so cold. And all I wanted to do was somebody to come over and just say, all right. And I remember going into McDonald's and I was so drained, and I've not eaten for days, I'd not washed, I'd not had a shave, I just looked bad, like worse than I've ever been in my life. And the woman at McDonald's gave me a brew. And I thought, oh, this kind of people do have a bit of that, do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, after that, a few weeks after that, I actually ended up getting a prison sentence. So for many a year, unfortunately. And I'm glad that I got that sentence, because it gave me it gave me back. It gave me a sense of, yeah, I'm going to be all right, and I'm not going to kill myself on the streets because everybody were dying around me. And I had a way out, and I just wanted to be warm, being honest. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I got to about 3.5 years into that sentence, and you know, I started thinking about my recovery and where I wanted to be. And, you know, before that, I had kids, I had responsibilities. I was manager of a rehab and I was doing all that stuff, working with kids. And, you know, I lost a lot and was going to get married and thinking of the kids. And I lost all that because of my addiction, because I was so wrapped up in myself. I didn't really see what damage were causing to my kids, and especially my mum and my dad. And, you know, my dad had just passed away. So yeah, it was kind of hard. So I was sat in the cell, and you know, when you get them low, when you're in jail, you have fun because I think we're chatting. So I had one of them all the times in there, and you know, I remember shedding a few tears and thinking, "Well, is this the way it's going to be again?" I'm out in another couple of years, and am I going back on the streets? Am I not going to get a life again? I'm not going to feel that love again because that's to do with my missus, and just wanted a life. I wanted to be not. So yeah, it was about. I started asking for help. You know, I went to CGL. One of the most important things for me is, you know, I have a dual diagnosis. I do have mental health issues. So obviously I'm on medication for that. But that was a big step to understanding that I've got the addiction. I have me, and plus I have my mental health issues. So obviously it was getting that under control and finding out a bit about me and being able to say yeah and no, you know. So yeah, I kind of learned that in jail and got clean in jail and went through my detox in jail, got the support in jail, went to CGL in jail, and he engaged in services and went through COVID all through that in jail on 23-hour lockdown a day. Do you know what do you do behind your door? 23-hour lockdown. Do you know, and if you're in a single cell like I was and you're high risk, your head's pickled, so you've got to do something with that. So I started building matchstick models and doing things with my time and actually reading the book of recovery. And finding out about me, you know, again, and starting to question what do I want to do when I get out. So I made sure when I was in there before I got out, I got the support of the CGL and said I want to go into some sort of recovery-based housing or a rehab, or I just knew I needed someone. I couldn't be left out there with me on because I'd be back in jail. It's simple. So yeah, somebody kind of gave me that leg up and said, listen, yeah, we've got a place for you 13 weeks before we're getting out. I've been in jail about 5 and a bit years after that. And yeah, I was glad, you know, that day. I'll never forget that day. We're walking down on the landing. And she come over to me with a piece of paper and she went, it was like a sense of relief, man. Do you know what I mean? It gave me a sense of relief to know that I could try again in my recovery and try to get friends and try to get my kids back in my life. And because I've not seen my kids for all them years when I was away, you know, and try to do something. And you know, the most important thing is asking for that help. And I had to openly have belief in myself that I could do it, and I was with it, because when you're in addiction, all that stuff goes. You don't believe in yourself. All you want to do is just stick your head in the sand and put everything on the back shelf, and it just can't happen, man, because that leaves me wanting to kill myself. And that's the way it got with me. So yeah, I got that piece of paper when I was on the landing to say you got a place in recovery homes. So yeah, I landed in recovery homes, and I've been out a few months now. And what do I do for my recovery today? Well, I do something every day. You know, I'm a selfish person, me. I don't mean to be. I just am. Every time I get something, I take it, make out of it, and I take everything to the extreme. And I don't want to be like that. So that was about coming out and not just mending me. It was about mending society for what it was and making a difference within it, and kind of my way of apologising, because I'd robbed houses and done a lot of bad stuff, and I can't go to them people and say I'm sorry for the way that I behaved. I can't. How can I do that? What, and get a life sentence? No, you're all right. You know, so it's about making a difference with me in my community, and yeah, you know, at the moment. So I knew when I come out, I had to go into it. And you know, and that's where I am. You know, I go to NA quite a lot. I have quite a lot of service. I do the step work. I have sponsor, and you know, I give a lot back in regards to homeless people, and just loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff you can do. I think that's one of the good things about coming to Preston. It kind of, you're in the forefront of recovery, and everybody's in it, and you know, everybody supports one another in the recovery homes, and especially with Red Rose and LUF. You know, what have they done for me? Because that's what it's about solely, is being where I am in my recovery. And it's like, it isn't about being selfish, about where am I today, yeah, what do I want in my future. So I want that training, I want to be able to understand, I want to be able to make an invention and meet good people, and be responsible for myself. So yeah, so I do a few groups we use a lot, which you've been all brilliant with me up tonight, and you've been fantastic. You know, you support me when I need you, you're there, and that's what I need. Another big thing is, you know, I've kind of picked up a bit of faith in my recovery, and yeah, I'm all right. Do you know, one of the biggest things I know, when I come out of jail, just before I come out of jail, my nephew was stabbed in Bolton and murdered. And I wasn't going to speak about it, but somebody said speak about it today, because today I'm being a son and I'm being a brother to my brother who's lost his son. You know, and I can support him in that, and I'm not in active addiction, and I'm not being selfish and you know, I'm being selfless, and I can support him emotionally, you know, because at the end of the day, that's where your recovery lies, you know, pointing is all. That's where it all begins. It's you. It ain't anybody else. It ain't your mates or your mum or your dad or cat and dog. It's none of them. It's you. And that's what's important to me, is me where I am, and today I can do that. So yeah, I'm all right. Do you know, I ain't going to say I'm brilliant. I struggle with my mental health like everybody else. I have loads of issues going on. I have the court case coming up with my family, and I've got all that stuff going on. I've just got my kids in my life after 5 years, and just loads. There's so much to go on about, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful today, you know. And that's the most important thing, is that I'm happy and I'm grateful that I can do something, I can try and make a change. So I hope that I'm not banged on. And I hope I haven't put anybody off about your recovery. I know, and believe me, I'm not getting it twisted. It's hard. Recovery is hard. To live on life's terms, it is hard. That's why I call them normal people. I'm not one of them. I'm a bit different. So I know that I need to do something for that. I have good people in my life today, and I thank them for that. Yeah, so I'm sorry if I banged on. I'm just going to leave it there, okay, everybody?
Yeah, no, you haven't banged on at all, Jay. Thank you for that. And again, just like Chris, you're doing amazing. You're doing a lot of work in the community, you know, and working well with Red Rose Recovery. So it's well done to you. So I'll just go to ask Barbara if she has any questions or comments for you. You're on mute, Bob.
I'll have that on my headstone when I go. Jason, Becky has said that she's glad that you're feeling better, and your story was amazing, showing such strength and determination. Keep going, you're doing absolutely brilliant. So that is lovely. I'm not sure whether we're getting internet issues as well, because I've got nothing else. Come on, people. Has anybody else out there got any questions?
I'm not sure if the other person's going to be doing what's in the community, so I think I'll just do it at the moment, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
So obviously I'll cover Central, because obviously we're Central. I might pop in a few others if I can remember what they are. So I'll start with, obviously tomorrow we have the coffee shop recovery, which is at the Lauder, which is in Preston. I'm not 100% full. I'm not 100% on the full address, but obviously the Lauder Cafe in Preston, which is I think it's crossed from the town hall in Preston, which
Lancaster Road. Lancaster Road.
Lancaster Road. Thank you very much for that. And it starts at 10:30 tomorrow. It's on for 2 hours. And on a Monday, we're starting a new group in the Chorley bus station, which is called Make It Happen Mondays. That's a mixed group, and that is 10 till 12. On Thursdays, we have Brew and Banter, which is 10 till 12, and it's at the Home Bakery in St John's Shopping Centre in Preston, which is across from the bus station and the market. On a Friday, we have a gardening and pizza making project group, which is at the Grange Community Gardens off Fir Tree Avenue in Ribbleton. At the moment, it has been cancelled for obviously the next couple of weeks. We will return in November, so obviously a time date to be confirmed for that. We also have a coffee, it's a community tea catch up as well, on Saturdays, which is a Preston Bus Station Cafe, which is 2 till 4. There's the lads football team, which is on a Thursday, which I think starts at 4:30, which is in Preston, just around the corner from the train station. We also have Barbara's Craft and Connect and
That's
Craft,
the one.
which is 10 till 2,
Yeah,
which is in Skemersdale. Do you want to give them the address for that, or?
yeah, that's in Quarry Bank Community Centre, and it's only been going about 5 weeks now, and it's lovely to see so many people turning up. I must admit, it's great. And a lot of older faces, can I say, that of people that have come through the recovery and have come back to see us and tell us how they're getting on. So that's fab. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. On the 29th of October, we have a Halloween party fundraiser in place of our usual or monthly. We used to have a monthly car wash, but as obviously the months are getting colder, we decided to do something a bit different. So that's on the 29th from 1 till 4 p.m, which is at the Sion Hub, Longridge Road, Preston. So it's like you can entry is like I think 50p for a child, £1 for an adult, or you can buy a ticket for the maximum of 6 people for £3. We're going to have competitions, fancy dress, games, prizes. And I think that covers Central. I know there's some women's groups just started not long back, I think in Accrington, which is at the Accrington, obviously, Red Rose Recovery Office. There's other bits and pieces in Lancaster, Morecambe and stuff like that. So what I suggest you do is go on to our redroserecovery.org.uk and then click on that and click on what's on and activities, and you'll see everything that's upcoming or what's on and what's going on there. Or follow us on Red Rose Recovery Facebook page, because everything gets posted onto there as well and updated on there. I think I've covered everything, but if not, like I say, just follow us on them pages or check them and everything gets updated.
And if anybody out there needs any help or information, if we can't help you, let us know. Well, sorry, get in touch with us, tell us what you need, and if we can't help you, we'll find a man who can. So I think that's all. Have we covered everything, Kim?
I think we have, yeah. Apologies if I haven't, but like I say, if you do follow our page or go onto our website, everything that's upcoming and events and etc. is all on there. To become a member is on the obviously web page, because if you become a member, then you can also be added to our Telegram page and get emails of updates and stuff as well. So yeah, that'd be good to do as well for yourself or anybody that you know that wants to get into recovery or get involved within the recovery community.
Oh, and it'd be nice to know what Chris is buying with his credit card and if he's buying us anything as well while he's at it. I don't think he realises his camera's on. So, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be a very short week this week, don't you?
I think Chris is going to tell you all that. No. I don't even think you realise what you said, Bob. Chris, what have you been buying us?
I don't think he can hear us, you know. Can you hear us, Chris?
I can, sorry.
What have you been buying us? Have you been buying us all chocolates and flowers and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that we've covered everything tonight, Chris. So it's going to be quite an early night tonight. We should have had somebody else on, but they've not turned up. So we will see you again in about 4 weeks.
You will do. It's been a lovely night.
Yes, so it's good night from me and good night from...
Good night from me.
And it's good
Chris.
night from Chris.
and it's always a good night from me.
Have a lovely Saturday evening, everybody. And see you all soon.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Right.